welcomes you to Sunbeam Convent School. So in this segment, we are going to study about silk. What is silk? Silk is a smooth fiber made of proteins secreted from Bombyx mori or silkworm. Okay. So silk is a smooth fiber, very smooth it is, and it is made of protein, and the protein secreted from silkworms or Bombyx mori. Silk is a natural animal product and therefore quite costly. So, natural product is costlier than synthetic product. So, silk is a natural animal product and it is very costly because it is very smooth and lustrous. Silk production requires continuous monitoring and feeding of silkworms and a great deal of efforts, but surprisingly results in small amount of thread. So therefore also silk is costly because there is very much effort which is needed. Continuous monitoring and feeding of silkworm and a great deal of effort is required. Continuous monitoring, that means looking after the whole process, looking after the silkworm, then every single process from starting till it is made into fiber and fabric, that it requires a continuous monitoring. And feeding of silkworm is also a very difficult task because silkworm only feed on mulberry leaves, and we will be studying further how they are bought and how they are feeded. So, silk production requires continuous monitoring and feeding of silkworm and great deal of effort, but it results in a small amount of thread. So, therefore, it is very costly. So, now we will be studying about history of silk. So, silk originated in China thousands of years ago. According to Chinese legend, the wife of mythical yellow emperor Lady Xi Xi is known as the goddess of silk. Okay, according to Chinese legend. So, silk originated from China and it originated thousands of years ago. So, according to Chinese legend, according to Chinese people, according to Chinese folk stories, wife of mythical yellow emperor Lady Xi is known as the goddess of silk, as the credit goes to her for introduction of silkworm rearing and invention of loom. So why she is known as goddess of silk? Because she is the one who introduced silkworm rearing. She introduced the process of rearing silkworm and invention of wool, that means invention of loom, that means how to make fibers and fabrics from silkworm. So the story says she was sitting under a mulberry tree and a cocoon accidentally fell in her cup of tea. So what's the story? The story is very interesting, that she was sitting under a mulberry tree and suddenly a cocoon fell into her cup of tea. So she noticed the strong silky thread of the cocoon uncoiling. So the empress then experimented with silkworm and developed the use of silk in weaving around 24,000 BC. It was kept a secret for many years. Gradually, the knowledge of silk spread out by the traders and it traveled and reached India only in 300 AD. So, the invention of silk or the knowledge of silk by human civilization was done in the human civilization got knowledge about silk before Christ, that means in BC, in the era when Christ was not born. 24,000 BC. In that era only humans knew about silk, but these Chinese people, they kept it a secret for centuries, and from China it traveled to India only in 300 AD. AD is Anno Domini. That means it is also referred to as the birth after Christ. So life cycle of silk moth. So silk is produced by various insects, but largest quantity of silk comes from silkworm, also known as Bombyx mori. Silk is produced by various insects, but largest quality of silk comes from silkworm. Manufacture of silk begins when female silk moth lays eggs. A single silk moth may produce hundreds of tiny eggs, which take around 2 weeks to hatch into tiny caterpillar or larvae or silkworm, which are not worms. So life cycle of a silkworm. What happens is that first of all, a female silkworm lays eggs. Okay, so a single silk moth produces thousands of, or not thousands, hundreds of tiny eggs, and these eggs take around 2 weeks to hatch into tiny caterpillar or larva or silkworm. Okay, a female silk moth, it lays hundreds of eggs, and these eggs take around 2 weeks to hatch into a caterpillar or larva or silkworm. These silkworms fed on mulberry leaves and grows rapidly. Okay, after 2 weeks, when this egg hatches and the silkworm comes out, it feeds on this mulberry leaves, and when it feeds on this mulberry leaves, it grows rapidly. The silkworms repeatedly shed their skin until they reach 3 inches, that is 7.5 centimeter. Till then, it keeps on shedding its skin. In 3 to 4 weeks, the caterpillar becomes ready to enter the next stage of their life cycle. On the pupa stage, they stop eating and begin to secrete protein from their salivary gland present on their head. So after 3 to 4 weeks, when they almost gain a size of 3 inches, they come at the pupa stage when they stop eating, and when they stop eating, they begin to secrete protein from their salivary gland. And from where this protein is secreted? The protein is secreted from the salivary gland present on their head. This protein hardens as it come in contact with the air. As this protein comes out and it come in contact with the air, it hardens. The larva cover itself completely with this filament, and this cover around them is called cocoon. Okay, then this larva, it covers itself with thousands layers of this protein, which hardens as it comes in contact with air. So this filamentous cover around them is called cocoon. The secretion of single continuous thread and is the raw silk. This secretion of single continuous thread is raw silk. Silkworm takes 2 to 7 days to surround itself in a cocoon, which consists of continuous and very fine filament of silk. So it takes from 2 to 7 days to surround itself completely with continuous and very fine filament of silk. The silkworm changes into pupa stage inside the cocoon and then turns itself into moth, which escapes by making a hole through the cocoon. So in that cocoon, what happens is that silkworm changes into pupa, and then it turns into moth. And if it is left like that, then moth escapes by making a hole through the cocoon. But we have to produce the silk, then what we have to do? The first step in production of silk is to look for the healthiest moth for laying eggs, because this is the first step. We need the healthiest moth that can lay healthy eggs and many eggs. So once the eggs are hatched, the larvae is placed on trays to grow and are fed on mulberry leaves for about 3 weeks. Small twigs and branches are placed on the tray so that the larvae climbs on these small branches and start spinning their cocoon. So first of all, when female moth lays eggs, they are kept safely, and once the eggs hatch, the larvae is placed on tray to grow, and what they feed on? They feed on mulberry leaves for about 3 weeks, and small twigs and branches are also kept on that tray so that larvae may climb on this tray and start spinning their cocoon. This process takes a week to complete. Once spinning is complete, cocoons are placed into boiling water to kill the developing moth before they can emerge and destroy the silk and loosen the filament. So for producing silk, what happens? Killing the moth is required, because if we don't kill moth, then they will emerge and make a hole in the cocoon, and it will destroy the silk and loosen the filament. But we want the filament, we want silk in good quality, and we don't want our silk to be destroyed. So the humans have to kill this moth. So we human beings kill this moth before they can emerge and destroy the silk and loosen the filament. So how they are killed? They are killed by keeping them in warm water, or nowadays a machine is also used to kill them, which blows hot air, and the moths are killed in the cocoon itself. The cocoon are carefully unraveled by the process called reeling or filiature, and then filaments are placed on large reel. So once these moths are killed, after that these cocoons are unraveled by the process called reeling. That means the fibers are taken out, and this process is called reeling or filiature. And then these filaments are placed on a large reel. Here you can see the large reel where these filaments are kept. From each cocoon, the strand of silk measures up to 900 meters. So one cocoon, it gives approximately 900 meters of silk. The process of rearing of silkworm to produce silk is called sericulture. A number of fine silk strands are combined together to produce yarns, because silk fiber is very thin, and to produce the yarn, number of silk strands are combined together that can be woven and dyed. Waste silk such as float or short strand are also processed. They are used to make short furnishing or clothing and items of inferior quality. So waste silk such as float, that means small fragments of the silk, short strands, these are also processed, and these are used to make inferior quality items such as inferior quality furnishing and inferior quality of clothes. Reeled silk is the term given to the material of highest quality, and it is highly priced. So the silk yarn that is of good quality, long strands, they are known as reeled silk, and it is the term given to materials of highest quality, and it is highest priced also. The caterpillar, normally referred to as silkworm, after it has hatched from the eggs laid by its parent moth, spends 35 days eating the leaves of a mulberry plant. So 35 days it eats the leaf of a mulberry plant, and then it starts laying. So in the next segment we will be studying silk weaving.